All right, so for our second example, it wants us to write an equation that we can use to find the length of the missing side. Then we'll find the missing side and simplify the root. They also want us to round to the tens place, so you can use a calculator. So on our first thing, we need to identify the legs. So I know we've got 9 and 12, and across from the right angle is always going to be the hypotenuse. So I identify that first. So I can make A or B 9 or 12, it will not matter. So I'm going to use 9 squared plus 12 squared. And that always equals whatever hypotenuse is, which we don't know, so we're going to let that be C squared. So now, depending on where your variable is, you'll do different calculations. So 9 squared is 81, plus 12 squared is 144, and that equals C squared. So I'm going to add these together, and that equals C squared. So now, in order to get C, the inverse operation would be to take the square root of both sides. Now, technically, when you take a square root, remember, you get plus and minus. But since we are talking about the side length, we need to interpret our answer. So on a calculator, you would type that in, the square root of 225. You want to see if it's a whole number first, so then you don't have to do any breaking down. It is, and so your calculator will tell you 15 exactly. If it was a decimal, we would have to do some further simplifying by hand. Now, to get back to the problem, since these are triangle lengths, the negative 15 does not make sense. So for our purposes, we're only going to consider positive lengths. So our hypotenuse is 15 exactly.